NBC10 breaking news.
That breaking news, the looting and the chaos that is unfolding right now. Take a look at this video. It shows a smashed-in ATM, businesses looted in West Philadelphia. All of this mess comes right after police shot and killed a man who they say was armed with a knife. And then this from overnight, we learned that 30 police officers were injured during this looting. That includes this officer that you see right here on the stretcher, actually one of multiple officers hit by a truck during all the chaos.
Yeah, you can see her right there. She is a sergeant being wheeled into the hospital. And the looting, it is continuing right now. This is not over yet. This is a live picture behind us from Skyforce 10 in West Philadelphia. A lot of this has been centered around 52nd and Arch Streets. And you can see it looks like looters are trying to break into this building. I'm not sure what it is. Is it the check cashing or the one next door? If Skyforce 10 could pull out just a little bit. It looks like it's a building that doesn't have a name on it, but there's somebody with a big bolt cutters there trying to get into it, perhaps unsuccessfully, but a lot of people there on the street, in the streets right now. Somebody coming out of the S&P donut shop.
And this has all been centered around 52nd and Chestnut. Randy Gyllenhaal has been on the scene all morning for us before Skyforce arrived there. And he was saying that a short time ago, the police officers actually left the McDonald's that's on 52nd and Chestnut. And as soon as the police presence left, another wave of looting started in this area. But this all began after 2 Philadelphia officers shot and killed a man in nearby Cobbs Creek. Video posted to social media shows that entire interaction. And we want to warn you that this video is graphic.
All right, now we froze that video at the moment those shots were fired. Once again, police say the man was armed with a knife when he approached them. We've got team coverage this morning. NBC10's Miguel Martinez-Valle. He's taking a closer look at the video of the shooting. But we want to begin with NBC10's Randy Gyllenhaal with more on the chaos overnight. Randy, you have been in the thick of it. At one point, things started to die down a little bit, but it seems like they've cranked back up again.
Yeah, so we're at 52nd and Chestnut. This is where a lot of the initial activity, civil unrest, was happening. There was a large police presence with riot gear, but the minute they left, we literally saw cars and lots of people driving in as those police officers left. And if we look over here, you can see the beauty supply store. About 6 minutes ago, they just broke through that metal barricade and got inside. So a number of looters inside the beauty supply store. I do want to show you that live picture again from Skyforce 10 hovering above us nearby. They're at the Foot Locker, which is about a block away. And we have seen a number of looters going in and out of that Foot Locker as well. In addition to the looting, there has been some acts of violence, we're told, against police officers. We have seen police cars set on fire and a number of other items in the street set ablaze as well. I want to show you some video from the ground of that ongoing looting that happened after police left this part of the 52nd Street corridor. For those not familiar with this area, this is a number of small businesses and shops on 52nd Street in West Philadelphia. Some of these shops suffered looting about 5 months ago during the summer civil unrest as well. Police also tell us a number of their officers have been injured, at least 30 officers injured and taken to the hospital. 29 of those officers have been released. We're told those were mostly projectile injuries hit by bricks and rocks, but we're told one officer, a female sergeant, was hit by a black pickup truck, suffered a broken leg, and she is hospitalized as well. This looting is continuing overnight. As you can see, as we come back here live, people going in and out of this beauty supply store. Much of this unrest starting, of course, in the aftermath of that police-involved shooting. Police shooting and killing a 27-year-old man who they say was armed with a knife in West Philadelphia. Much of that anger and frustration spilling into the streets overnight, and a lot of it led to this, as we are still seeing looting ongoing right now. Minimal police presence, at least on this block of 52nd Street in West Philadelphia. So you should avoid this area. If you live here, you should not come to 52nd Street right now. It's still pretty tense out here as we're approaching sunrise this morning. For now, we're live in West Philadelphia. I'm Randy Gyllenhaal, NBC10 News.
Randy, thank you for that. We're going to take a closer look now at the video that actually started this whole thing, the protests and the riots. This is the video that shows two police officers confronting, shooting and killing 27-year-old Walter Wallace. This happened in West Philly. NBC10's Miguel Martinez-Valle joining us live from Philadelphia Police Headquarters. So, Miguel, police say that this started because Walter Wallace was holding a knife.
That's right. Police say that he was holding a knife and coming towards them. That's when the shooting happened. Now, meanwhile, city officials, they say they understand the community's pain and frustration, but they're asking for a complete fact-based investigation. And Wallace's family, they say that he was a family man who didn't deserve to die like this. Meanwhile, that interaction with police, it was all caught on video. Take a look. Philadelphia police say around 2:45 yesterday, officers were called to a domestic incident involving a man with a knife. Family members identified him as Walter Wallace, pictured here. This happened near 61st and Locust. A witness sitting in a car started recording this video. We don't know what happened before this video. In it, you can hear the officers yell for others to back up and then yelling for Wallace to put the knife down. You see Wallace coming around a car towards the officers. Then, several gunshots. In the video, you can't see what happens when police fire the shots, but after the shooting, you see Wallace's mother and witnesses rush over and try to help him as he laid on the ground. Police then took him to the hospital where he died. People who know him say he loved his children and his family and that he didn't have to die like this.
I believe they could have took the right actions and possibly shoot him in his leg. Shoot him in his leg or not shoot him at all.
Fortunately, it appears that the officers were wearing body cameras. The body cameras were activated. So, we should have a lot of video along with eyewitness statements.
Several city leaders, including Police Commissioner Danielle Outlaw, have responded. She said, "Residents have my assurance that the questions will be fully addressed by the investigation. I heard and felt the anger of the community. Everyone involved will forever be impacted." Live outside police headquarters, we have seen police in the last few hours set up barriers around the building, and you can see the Philadelphia Sheriff's Office bus just pulled up behind us there. That happened in the last few moments. So police said the barriers were just to make sure that they were staying safe and that they were protecting the headquarters here. Meanwhile, we also just got in the last hour or so a statement from Wallace's family, reading in part that he was a family man who had just gotten married, had several kids. They also say that he was shot in front of his mother and brother and that he didn't deserve to go like that. I'll send it back to you. I'm Miguel Martinez-Valle, NBC 10 News.
Miguel, thank you. We're going to get right back to 52nd and Sansom right now. The looting continues, guys. Skyforce 10 has been in the air about an hour now, just getting different shots of people looting various stores in West Philadelphia. This is a Q&S discount beauty supply. Right there, you see people walking in and out. They've been taking wigs. They've been taking other products from that store. They've been loading up, hauling it away in the cars. You see one of the cars parked right there. Ironically, around the corner to the right of the scene, there's a police car parked down the street from this. But once again, this is 52nd and Sansom. Our crew, Randy Gyllenhaal, is across the street from this. This is just one of the many businesses that they have looted this morning. They have looted the Family Dollar, the Snipe store, the Foot Locker. The McDonald's at one point was a point of police control where they had set up a couple of barriers there, Aaron.
We had seen a lot of police in this area, and then as NBC10's Randy Gyllenhaal, who is in that area right now, told us, they dispersed maybe about 2 hours ago, and that's when we saw a lot of the looting continue. We've got a couple officers, as you mentioned, around the corner from here, but this is really in a 6 to 8 block stretch, right around 52nd and Chestnut. This again, 52nd in Sansom, 52nd in Arch. We saw folks trying to break into an ATM, so really about a 6 to 8 block stretch along 52nd Street in that area that we've been seeing a lot of the looting continue.
Right. Earlier in the morning, Sheila was actually putting out a warning to make sure that people would not drive through this area. Randy was advising the same thing just a few minutes ago. You can see the cars slowly, driving by, seeing exactly what's going on here. Some of them turning around. So this is what's going on right now, guys. 52nd and Sansom. You see more people showing up here. Let's see what these people do.
So word is getting out clearly that this this is one of the stores that is open right now or is vulnerable right now. And we've got to mention that earlier in the summer, we saw a lot of images similar to this in the spring and summer of looting. That looting then was much more widespread in the city. We saw it in Center City, other areas. Right now, it appears that this looting is just contained to this area around 52nd and Chestnut, 52nd and Sansom, 52nd and Arch, this corridor here. But still, nonetheless, a lot of these same businesses that we've been hearing had been broken into before. And it took a long time for them to get themselves back together, get the merchandise back. And now this is what we're seeing again. Several stores in this area. This is just one being looted right now.
Stay with NBC 10 for continuing coverage, guys, of this breaking news. This is an unfolding, evolving situation, and we are checking up on this situation every 15 minutes.